TRW. Game is AIR2, battle is Ivry, 1590. A royal army, including this formation here in blue, against a league army in white. We're going to get to melee, but just a quick review from the sequence of play, what you're doing with each formation as you activate it. So, do they call it I'm trying to remember what they call it. Yeah, they do call it the activation phase. So, activated, first formation of the battle is C. Biron here, a cavalry wing. So then you're going to go through 4, 5, 6 steps or sub phases. First, you have a preemption attempt. That would be by the inactive player. Then you're going to go to change of orders. Ciberon starts with charge orders, and that's what I want. Don't want to attempt to change those, or I didn't want to attempt to change those. Then we go to the third, or step C, unit action. So each of the units of the formation, in this case it's these 3 cavalry units right there, 2 mounted arquebusiers and 1 cuirassier unit. The units conduct their actions. They move, which includes firing or rally, but these are depending on the restrictions of the current order, formation order. Then you go to step D, melee, which is where we're going to pick up. Then you do E, reactivation attempt. So in this case, the French royal player could try to reactivate Ciberon for a second. How do they word it? The activated wing may attempt to reactivate it itself. That is, go again. If it succeeds, you go back up to A with a preemption attempt, etc. And finally, F, new activation. Okay, so back up to melee, step D. What we've had is we had movement and we had some fire. Now we're going to go to the melee phase. So that's how we got here. Again, we had an interception. So while this is melee, it also involves an interception. Let's see, melee. So units adjacent to enemy units may engage them in close combat or melee. That's where we are right now in the sequence of play. Melee takes place at the end of each wing's activation. It's really not at the end. It takes place after unit activations in the the wing. After the players finished all of their possible actions with the units of the wing. Yes, that's correct. The wing's orders have no effect on melees. I guess that's important. Procedures, active unit. Okay, this is actually very important. So active units with an enemy unit in any of their frontal hexes. So this unit's frontal hexes are the 2 flank and 2 front hexes. It's these front 4. So it has the cuirassier unit in one of its frontal hexes. That is just the front 2. As well as this mounted arquebusier unit has the same enemy unit in one of its frontal hexes. Okay. Can declare a melee. I'm trying to remember if there are actually... I can't remember if there are melee markers or not. How did I forget that? It's obvious enough, but... Don't remember melee markers. Alright. Now here's the important point. Inactive units that have not been designated as a target of the melee and that have an active unit in any of their frontal hexes can declare a reaction melee. Those would be completed first. So I talked about this in a very old video, not very old, quite a while back, playing this system, not this game, but this system, earlier incarnation, I thought this wasn't clear. I think the rules are quite clear now, which is great. So here's a clarification that I did not see before. This reaction melee is only possible against units of the activated wing. Okay, and then you do reaction melees before action or activated wing melees. Okay, but here's real simple. We just have the one melee. Okay. Interesting that the reaction melees are resolved first in the order chosen by the active player. That's interesting. Huh? If an active unit is still able to combat after a reaction melee, it must combat the target it initially designated. Yeah, okay. So you have to declare first and, yeah, can't change later. That makes sense. The unit initiating the melee is then called the attacker, and the target is called the defender. Several hexes can attack, this is what we have here. Several hexes can attack the same hex. The attacker chooses the head unit. The others are supporting. So what's the difference here? They're both mounted arquebusiers. They both have morale of 7. Yeah, there is no difference. So if there was an advance, I think I'd want to advance with this unit. So I designate this the head unit, this one's supporting. The head unit is used to calculate the melee modifiers. The supporting units only add the modifiers for flank or rear attacks for multiple attackers and possibly a charge bonus or commander bonus. An infantry unit can support a cavalry unit. All right. All right, so attacker rolls the 10-sided die and is immediately going to apply the modifier. Ooh, that is great. I got a 9. So let's go to it. This is a fairly modifiers heavy design. Yeah, there is no way around that. So we'll go through here. Oops. Morale of the attacker minus the defender. So again, that would be the head unit. Morale is 7 minus 8. That's actually -1. All right, so -1. All right. Interaction of the unit types. So the game does use a unit type interaction type table. You find the attacker, which is an A-type unit, arquebusiers, and cross-reference it with the defender's type, which is cuirassiers. Obviously, as you can imagine, this isn't going to be so good. Arquebusiers going against cuirassiers is a -2. So now we're down to a -3. -3. Number of supporting units +1 per unit, maximum of 5. So obviously we have 1 supporting unit. So we add 1, so we're back up to -2. +1 if double unit attacks enemy units centered. Attacking commander value, no. Defending commander value. Oh, we do have a defending commander value. We do have a defending commander, but his value is 0, so no change. +2 charge bonus. This is not. Actually, why did I not do charge? Oh, that's for G and C units. Anyways, no lance bonus. 4 unit, double units. There's a +1 per flank or rear attack per hex. So this is a flank attack. So we add 1, so we go back up to -1. And terrain is not an issue. So, did I get everything? I think I did. Okay, charge bonus. If a G, H, or C-type unit engages in melee after having conducted its movement by crossing 2 hexes of clear terrain, G, H, or C. Okay, though it wouldn't apply to mounted arquebusiers anyways. So Charging is not an issue here. Okay, so I think it's the roll of 9 minus 1 for the final modifiers is 8. You have a combat results table where you're finding the final modified result along, well, and then you're cross-referencing for the result for the attacker and the defender. So 8, A1. A1 is attacker 1, which is, I think it's loss of, that's funny, there's no, they don't summarize those on the table. I think it's -1 loss of morale level. So melee results, number indicates the number of status downgrades. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so we do attack. I'm just going left to right. Attackers first. A1. Actually, is that all or just the head unit? The result of the melee is applied to the head unit in an attack. Alright, so loss of 1 level for the attacker. Flip him over to his disorganized side. Like that. That's the attacker. And defender is D1R2. So, and we go in order. So we go, wait, something isn't, no, that's right, that's right. All right, so D1 is like that, loss of 1 morale level, and then number of hexes to retreat is 2, and he has hexes to retreat. Okay, so how do we execute retreat in this case? Disordered and shaken units that must retreat maintain their facing. Okay, so go 1, 2. That's all the same. Interception marker is going to come off at the end of the formation activation here. Actually, I think that's it. So end of the formation activation. I can put these all back. So I'm going to take the commander, I'm going to flip him over, show he's done. I also just choose to put the order marker underneath. This one will come off. So the interception, really, I was rereading this before I started today. It is mainly to stop the enemy's movement, if that's relevant to your battle plan. All right, so I'm turning my attention now to this formation here. The League Army right flank or wing. Before I get there, to fill in the gaps, so after the melee for the Royal Army, the Royal Wing there, you then go on to reactivation attempt. Now I'm choosing not to reactivate with Ciberon here because he's way out here on his own. I think I'll save reactivation attempts for when more of the armies are in contact. So then you go on a new activation. So if the activated wing fails in its reactivation attempt, or, as is the case here, the active player ends his activation, the preempted wing, if there is one, which there isn't here, is then activated. And you go back up to change of orders and go through the activation phase again. Otherwise, the players determine which wing will be activated next. So in this case, there is no choice. This wing with the charge order is next. I talked about this before, but we're alternating formations in orders precedence with, again, with preemption as an option. But the League Army has one formation with charge orders, so The other two wings have march orders of lower precedence. So again, the League right here wing with the charge orders has to go next. Okay, so we start over. There's a preemption. The Royal Army is not going to try to preempt here. But I will get to that. Preemption is pretty important, it seems to me. Then we'll go to change of orders now. So the Royal Wing here, or actually the Advance Guard, moved up here and made contact. The League Army right has charge orders. Should I try to basically downgrade those to march? And no, we'll keep the charge orders. So again, all units must end movement closer by at least 1 hex to the closest enemy unit. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, all right, so basically the cavalry here is going to go after them, but the infantry line is just going to advance one hex. So this infantry unit can go into the woods. It costs 2. They are along the roads. I can't remember if that applies in this game or not. No. For this scenario, these roads are all decorative. Now I remember that. Double unit moves up 1. The whole infantry force moves up 1, which means that they're closing the distance by 1 hex to the nearest enemy. Now, all right, so let's see. It seems like a bad idea to have the mounted arquebusiers try to intercept. So they're not going to. So we go 1, and we're going to go. Now, is this a charge? I think they can. Let me take a look at that. Okay, so again, they're not the right type of cavalry. Only a GH and C type, can charge. So I keep making that mistake. So instead, they will ride up, they'll fire, and then they'll melee. Oh, yep, yes they will. So turns, and then he's see, 1, 2. Oh, I wonder about reaction movement. Yeah, I'll take a look at that later. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so should be quick fire here. Here they have a fire capability of 6. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Oh. Here they can expend 2 movement points to get +2. Fire in the flank or rear, that is the flank there, +1. And terrain. Okay, so it looks like it's 3, so 3 + 3 is 6. Oh, actually that is equal to or better than his fire value of 6. So it's a morale check, but no modifier for the defender there. rolls a 7. I think he failed. Morale of 6. Yeah, so he fails. So he's going to go down a level. He's already so he's already disordered. Now he's going to go to shaken. So I'm going to put a shaken marker on him. The next guy here. Oh, there we go. 7. It's probably the same modifier. No, it's not. It's not flank fire. So, yeah, movement points as well. So 2. Yeah, 2. 2 modifiers. That's 9, which is so I'd subtract his fire value of 5, which is 4 remaining. So the defender here with a morale of 7 has to pass. He does not pass. 9 plus the difference of 4 is 13, well over his morale of 7. Now there is no like failing by twice or anything like that I recall. So I think he just loses a level. So he's disordered.